Hey, so oftentimes I get myself caught in thoughts and just like creative ideas, and my mind expanding in the way that I understand things and the way I see things, and just my process of creating new awarenesses. And I like to share them because they're possibly and not new awarenesses. Like, I'm pretty sure some of you can relate with some of these awarenesses that I am speaking on, but whenever they make a synapsis, a connection for me, I intend to share them because they can be helpful. Some of my greatest teachers, some of my best friends are people that I can actually process with, of like, this is what my mind is saying now, this is what my mind used to say, or this is what my mind is saying and I don't want it to say it anymore, so how can I shift it? So anyway, um the thing that comes to me today is, and the thing that comes to me all the time, is the way I feel in my body. I long to understand, but better to understand what my body is communicating to me, because I know that it holds such wisdom and such knowledge, and a lot of it is untapped. I have to make a conscious effort to tap into that wisdom, to be present with that wisdom. Like, that is something that I have committed the rest of my life to, is understanding the language of my body. And this is also something that I really enjoy helping people, women in particular, learn to harness, is the communication of the body and what it means. And so, with that being part of my day-to-day practice, I'm very in tune with energy, and also with my study and my practice in Ayurveda. I understand how how the elements and the energies of the elements, the qualities of the elements, show up in my body. And I love bringing attention to it so people can actually put words to what they may be feeling inside, because it is collective. We're experiencing the same season, we're watching the same news, we're eating the same foods, right? Coming from the same earth, like we are one. So a lot of times what you are feeling is also being experienced in the collective. So I speak to myself, and I also speak to you, and I say that you are not alone. Just talk to somebody, right? Call me up, talk to me. Like, you are not alone. And what I am feeling right now is, it's almost like the hot air balloon, and we're in the basket of a hot air balloon, and the mental stimulation that is going on right now with the energy that we are experiencing is creating so much friction. And so I feel like there's a rise of friction in my body and in the collective energy. Like, it's like we're getting revved up for something, but there's also a lot of air and a lot of movement, so it's being pulled up, so there's a lot of pressure. So our energy is being directed up into the ethers, and up in with the wind, going up into the ethers. And we are leaving summer, going into fall, and fall is Vata season. And in Ayurveda, Vata is made of air and ether. So we're experiencing that in our physical bodies, in our mental bodies, in our spiritual bodies, the energy of the rise of the energy of like this last before we fall to rest, right? Does that make sense? Like this one last before we retreat for winter. Um, and oftentimes this shows up in communication for me. I'm able to communicate clearer during these times. But it also shows up for me in my body as physical pain. I experienced most of my, let me not say that. What I remember, I experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of change, a lot of dramatic change in the fall. A divorce, the death of one of the most dearest people in my life, moving 2 times, different states, career changes, like big things happen for me in the fall. And it is a moment of transition. So the energy of fall, the energy of Vata is the energy of movement, and movement creates friction. So that's what I'm talking about, like the heat, the feeling of the need to take action. This one last chance, right? You see it in the squirrels. What are the squirrels doing? Like frantically running around to collect all the nuts just to hide them so they can lose them and not have them. That's kind of the energy that I'm speaking to. Can I get an amen? Um, and my mind has been so active, like creating all these stories. And some of these stories are like, yeah, this is a story that I want to keep telling myself because it's amazing. And then there's all these other stories that I'm just like, why am I even entertaining that bullshit? Beep, whatever. Um, what? And so that's something that I like want to release and let go of. And that also, this is a squirrel that I'm going to chase for just a second, but it's connected because everything is connected, right? Um, and I'd love to get one of my astrological friends on to talk about this, but the Scorpio energy, like we're in a Scorpio new moon right now, because it's November 13th, 2023. And the Scorpio energy of this new moon is about like really paying attention to what your focus is on, and what your thoughts are, and what things you are paying attention to, because these are going to be themes that are created for you for the next 2 years. So I'm being real careful to what thoughts I'm allowing myself to like think, right? Because I'm definitely going to plant them into the earth right now, because it's Vata, and that's what we're doing. We're gathering seeds to plant them so that we can nourish them and love them and talk to sweetly to them during winter, so we can watch them grow in the spring. But also astrologically doing that for the next 2 years. So everything's all interconnected. But Ayurveda teaches that there's such practical ways of calming this energy. So Ayurveda says that opposites create balance. And so during this season of Vata, whenever we are feeling the rise in creative thoughts and to communicate and to express, and we feel like the urgency, Ayurveda would teach us to find balance in that and to create ease in that by responding with the opposite. Doing grounding practices, like being out in nature right now, going catch the falling leaves, putting your feet in the grass, feeling the wind blow, and really getting present, calming your speech, turning the lights down low, right? Mother Nature does that for us. We have longer days, shorter days, longer nights. So we're getting more darkness. And so that's just something that we can lean into instead of resisting, right? Like lean into, thank you, I can go in now, right? My energy and my focus doesn't have to be out, because really there's nothing that I can see. So I can go in now. So allowing yourself moments in your day to just get quiet. It doesn't have to be very long moments. It could just be that moment when your butt hits the car seat and your hands are on the steering wheel just stop there for a moment and maybe we could do that together so you see how it feels, but just stop and breathe in and breathe out. And then put the keys in the ignition and go off to your next thing. Or maybe you have a few more moments to actually feel into your body, like, how am I feeling right now? So those are a few ways to get present in the body during Vata season. Get yourself ready for the holidays, y'all, because you know what happens to us in the holidays. It's, this optimal time in our environment, and the energy's present to slow down, to relax, to connect with yourself, to connect with families, but we busy ourselves, right? Our society has just handed us these epic distractions on a silver platter and, put labels on it. So just be mindful of what you really need right now and not let Hallmark tell you what you need. Or your families. Yeah. I love my family dearly, and I'm looking forward to connecting with them for the holidays, but I'm also making sure that I have moments for myself. Like I'll be traveling for Thanksgiving to California, Mount Shasta, with my sister and her wife. But making sure that I have moments that we are still and present together and doing things that'll bring us together. And then for Christmas, I will be with my family in Eunice. And then making sure that I have times where I can be still and present, and connect with my heart. Connect with my heart. So anyway, with that being said, I have this free webinar, and I'll put the link somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna post this video, but I mean, I'm gonna try to do this more often. That whenever I have these connections, to share on them, just because I feel like it's important to not necessarily modernize, but just talk about Ayurveda, the study of the life within you, a little closer, because I think it's magic. And I want everybody to know this magic because it's helped me understand my humanness, right? It helps me understand the universe, honestly, on a deeper level, because if I can understand me and my body and how the elements and the universe work in me, then I mean, yeah, outside and nature and the stars, it's just a little bit bigger version. And so when something's going on in the environment, in the weather, when something's going on astrologically, I know it's also going on inside of me, because I am stardust. Like, we are made of the elements. So yeah, food for thought.